Imagine a city where when you hear a missile siren, you only have 45 seconds to find safety.
Oh, wow.
That's the reality in Kharkiv.
Yeah.
It's Ukraine's second largest city, and it's just 30 kilometers from the Russian border.
Gosh.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into Kharkiv,
Okay.
looking at how residents have adapted to living under this constant threat.
Hmm.
You might be surprised to learn that life in Kharkiv has not just continued, but it's actually moved underground.
Really?
Education, commerce, even the arts.
Wow.
So how do people maintain hope and a sense of normalcy when daily life plays out in shelters and subway stations?
Yeah.
That's what we're here to uncover.
Well, it's really a fascinating look at human resilience and adaptability.
Yeah, let's start with something we can all relate to: education.
Oh, okay.
You won't believe this, but there are 6 underground schools operating in Kharkiv subway stations.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a testament to their dedication to the future.
Right.
Of course, these makeshift classrooms can only accommodate a fraction of the city's children. Yeah. And they can only attend once a week.
It's a pretty stark contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kids trying to learn amidst posters detailing missile safety procedures.
Wow.
We read about Alina.
Mm-hmm.
She's a primary school teacher who's creating a haven for her students in this unusual setting.
That's great.
What stood out to you about her story?
Well, what struck me was Alina's focus on positivity.
Hmm.
She's quoted as saying, "It's okay to talk about these things, but I don't like to dwell on them because I want the children to experience joy and love here. We try to focus on positive emotions. Yes, we're living in a war, but we need to have a positive mindset and have faith in the good."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really highlights the psychological needs of these children
Yeah.
and the lengths educators are going to meet them.
It makes you wonder about the long-term effects on an entire generation growing up under these conditions.
Yeah.
But beyond the classroom, this shift underground has impacted the entire city.
Absolutely. The city's mayor, Ihor Terekov, has been operating out of his bunker-turned office since the invasion began in February 2022.
Wow.
He describes the initial days when over 160,000 people were living in the subway stations.
Can you imagine?
I mean, can you imagine the logistical challenges of providing for that many people underground?
Food, sanitation, medical care? Not to mention the emotional, psychological support they needed.
Right.
What did the mayor say about how the city managed?
He described it as a logistical nightmare, but they somehow pulled it off.
Really?
What's even more interesting is that Kharkiv is now planning to expand its underground infrastructure to include a hospital, additional schools, and even a recreational park.
A recreational park.
Underground.
Underground. It's like they're building a whole new world down there.
Yeah.
Is this the future of cities in conflict zones?
It's a question worth considering. The mayor does express hope for lasting peace.
No.
But the reality is that Kharkiv is adapting to a life that might be predominantly underground.
And this adaptation extends beyond the practical necessities.
Yes.
We found some incredible stories about how the arts are flourishing underground.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have Antonina Roma, the prima ballerina at Kharkiv's largest theater.
Mm-hmm.
She views performing as her duty to uplift the spirits of the people.
Wow.
They've converted an old underground warehouse into a performance space, and the shows are consistently sold out.
You have to wonder what it's like to attend a ballet performance, knowing that at any moment an air raid siren could send everyone scrambling for safety.
It speaks to a deep human need for beauty, for connection, even in the face of danger.
Yeah. And it's not just ballet.
Right.
We also have the story of Olga Lebedinska, a dancer whose home is situated very close to the front lines.
Oh my goodness.
She nearly lost her life during shelling.
Wow.
It's amazing that she's still dancing, given what she's been through.
Her story highlights the incredible resilience of the human spirit. She said, "So when you hear the sirens, don't be afraid, don't hide. If the world needs you, you'll survive." That's how I see it.
Wow.
It's a powerful statement.
It makes you realize that for residents of Kharkiv, this constant threat has become part of everyday life.
They've adapted to it in ways we can barely imagine.
I know. It's hard to fathom.
There are reports of people checking Telegram channels for missile updates before deciding whether to seek shelter in the metro.
It's a stark reminder that while we're discussing this from the comfort of our homes,
Right.
this is a reality for them.
Yes.
But what about everyday activities like shopping?
Sure.
You mentioned malls moving underground.
Many public spaces are now located underground, including a shopping mall.
Okay.
The thinking is that if a missile strike does happen, it's more likely to target places where people gather.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It must be a surreal experience for the teenagers who hang out there.
What's interesting is that they seem to be finding a sense of normalcy in this extraordinary situation. One teenager was quoted as saying, Safely comes first, and it's very safe down here. And overall, it's fun to spend time here. There are a lot of cool people, the atmosphere is nice, the people are cool.
Hmm.
It highlights the adaptability of young people, their ability to create community even in the most challenging circumstances.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is.
But amidst all this resilience, it's important to acknowledge the immense loss people in Kharkiv are experiencing.
Absolutely. And there's no better illustration of this than the story of Alina, the school teacher we talked about earlier.
Right.
She finds solace in weekly visits to the cemetery.
Why the cemetery?
It's a place where she connects with other war widows, sharing their grief and finding strength in their shared experience.
Oh.
We learned about Anastasia, another widow who visits the cemetery on her birthday,
Wow.
a day that would have been shared with her husband Ihor before he was killed a year ago.
It's heartbreaking, but it also speaks to a powerful need for connection and remembrance.
It does, and there's a poignant detail in the story. Before he died, Ihor told Anastasia, "Everything will be okay. It will never be the same, but I promise it will be even better."
It's a testament to the enduring power of hope, even in the face of unimaginable loss.
Exactly. And it's that hope that seems to be fueling the determination of so many in Kharkiv to stay strong, to remain in their city, and to find ways to live in hope, even if it means adapting to a life largely lived underground.
Wow. Their stories are powerful reminders of the strength of the human spirit.
They are, and they're truly inspiring.
They are.
It really is remarkable how these stories from Kharkiv just provide a window into human resilience and the power of hope.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine, even amidst the uncertainty and fear, the arts are not only surviving, but thriving underground.
Yeah, it's incredible to think about a city facing such dire circumstances and how they can still cultivate beauty and creative expression.
Yeah.
Antonina, the prima ballerina, she really embodies that spirit.
Yeah.
Remember how she said she felt it was her duty to perform and uplift the people?
It's a powerful reminder that art can provide solace and a sense of normalcy during times of crisis.
Mm.
You know, it becomes more than just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the human spirit's refusal to be defeated.
And it's not just about providing an escape.
Right.
This persistence of art feels like a form of resistance, a way for the people of Kharkiv to reclaim a sense of agency and control
Yeah.
in a situation where so much feels out of their hands.
Absolutely. It speaks to our inherent need for connection, expression, and finding meaning, even in the darkest of times.
Yeah.
And you see this not just in the arts,
Mm-hmm.
but in the city's leadership as well.
Right.
The mayor's plan to expand the city's underground infrastructure, the
Wow.
hospital, the schools, even that recreational park,
Right.
it raises so many questions.
It's almost like they're building a parallel city beneath the surface.
Yeah,
But is it sustainable in the long term?
right.
What are the psychological implications of living predominantly underground?
Those are exactly the questions we need to ponder. You know, we tend to think of cities as evolving upwards with skyscrapers reaching for the sky.
Yeah.
But in Kharkiv, we're seeing a different kind of evolution, one driven by the need for safety and resilience beneath the ground.
Mm.
It challenges our traditional notions of urban planning.
It's a fascinating and unsettling example of how conflict can reshape not only individual lives, but the very fabric of our cities.
Precisely. And it begs the question, what other innovations might emerge from this crisis?
Yeah.
What unforeseen forms of community art and ways of life might take root in the underground spaces of Kharkiv?
It's a unique perspective on adaptation and the potential for human ingenuity to find solutions in even the most difficult circumstances.
For those of us observing from afar, it's
Yeah.
a stark reminder of the realities faced by people living in conflict zones
Yeah.
and the profound ways in which such events can reshape our world.
It certainly prompts us to reflect on our own resilience and consider how we might respond to similar challenges.
Yeah.
But Kharkiv's story is not solely about survival.
No.
It's about adaptation, innovation, and the enduring human spirit.
Exactly. We see this in the way they've adapted their daily lives,
Right.
found creative outlets, and clung to those things that make life worth living, even when forced underground.
Mm-hmm.
Their stories offer valuable insights for us all. And it's not just the grand gestures of resilience that are so striking, but
Mhm.
also the everyday acts of courage.
Yeah.
Think about the parents sending their children to those underground schools,
Right.
knowing it's only for a few hours a week.
It's a reminder that even amidst the fear and uncertainty, they're still prioritizing education and their children's future.
Exactly. And the artists who continue to perform,
Yeah.
bringing beauty and a moment of normalcy to their community.
Mm-hmm.
These stories highlight our capacity to adapt, to find meaning and even joy in the most extraordinary circumstances.
It makes you wonder, what would you prioritize if you were in their situation?
Right.
What aspects of your life would you fight to preserve? Their stories force us to confront our own assumptions about what it means to live in a world where conflict is increasingly a part of the landscape.
And it also reminds us that even though their circumstances may seem extreme, the struggles of the people in Kharkiv are not so different from our own.
Right.
We all face challenges and uncertainties, and we all search for ways to cope, connect, and find hope.
It's a powerful call for empathy and understanding,
Yeah,
recognizing that we're all connected and that what happens in one part of the world affects us all.
absolutely. Their stories deserve to be heard, to be shared, and to inspire us to consider how we can offer support and solidarity.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Kharkiv, I'm left with a mix of emotions. A
Yes.
sense of awe at the resilience of the human spirit, a deep sadness at the toll this conflict has taken,
Hmm.
and a renewed commitment to share these stories so they are never forgotten.
And for our listeners who are feeling similarly moved by these stories, we encourage you to share this episode. And to continue exploring these issues, start conversations about the challenges facing the people of Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
and find ways to offer your support, whether through donations, advocacy, or simply raising awareness. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference.
We hope this deep dive has provided you with a glimpse into the lives of those living in extraordinary circumstances and inspired you to learn more. And to all our listeners across the globe, if you found these stories as captivating as we did, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel to support our mission of bringing you more of these essential deep dives.